Hi everyone, today I need to do some maintenance on the car that I drive on Audi A4 B6 1.9 TDI. I need to return Visco ventilator because during the winter I did take it off because it rotates all the time and cools already cool engine. That's why I did take it off. After that I'm gonna use this diesel purge from Liquimoly to clean the fuel system, especially this is designed to clean injectors. After that I need to change the oil and oil filter, and that will be everything for today for the car. So sooner I start, sooner I will be done with it, so let's go and start. Hood jumps out like a mine. I did wash the car 2 hours ago, so some parts are still wet. That is the reason why. First of all, I'm gonna take this engine cover. Now the second step is to, let's say, untighten this auxiliary belt, and for that I'm gonna use 19mm key. Get the tensioner on the left, and when you get the tensioner on the left, that is how you compress that dampener on the tensioner. Then this belt becomes loose, so you can slide it off the alternator. And now I'm gonna loose those 13mm bolts that holds down the alternator on the engine. And the other one is down there. Yep, there it is. And now I'm gonna use this ratcheting wrench simply because it's faster to unscrew this bolt, but looks like it's gonna go by hand, which is great for me. Look how long this bolt is. Let's now try the lower one. I'm gonna pull out the alternator so just I can have more space to insert that with. Oof. Okay. I should have done this before, but this is the main cable from the battery, so be careful not to touch any metal, because if you do, then you will see some sparks flying around. Now we can pull out the alternator, and on this engine you need to push a little bit those hoses and you will get it out. Now one really important thing to do would be to somehow push this piece on the outside towards this direction, because this piece serves as a nut for the bolt. So you need to push on this piece, because then you will have more space to return the alternator onto that carrier. And when you tighten this piece will go again on its position and tighten everything. So that is one system to let's say, self-level the alternator. And this is how you will push this piece out. So I'm gonna use 19mm socket, place it on this rear side of the alternator. Then I'm gonna use this tool, which I cannot remember the name in English, but still I'm gonna use it. And then you just compress it. If you see this small shiny part, that is how much I'm gonna compress it. Because I don't have a hammer right now, I'm gonna use a crowbar. And now you can see on this side how much did I push this out. And also I'm gonna do that with the lower one. You need to use a hammer or a crowbar like me, because this tool cannot push on the center of that piece, and that is why you need to give a little persuasion. You can see the shiny part also on this one. So we are done with the alternator for now. Now I need to unbolt this piece where the belt goes. This piece is actually the piece where this visco ventilator bolts on. You will need 8mm Allen tool. How to say that, I did forget. And that's it. I need to unscrew this piece where the belt goes, who is held on by those 3 bolts. After that I can mount this belt piece onto visco clutch, screw back those 3 bolts, and visco ventilator is ready to be mounted back. But somehow I didn't record that part and how I did mount the alternator, but what can I do? I guess we can continue from here. Well, now since the alternator is in place, visco ventilator is tightened. Now we can check if the belt is routed like it should be. Now again, 19mm key, 17 for leverage. Okay, the belt is on. Very important step is to check if the belt did go where it needs to go. Now, after the belt is in place, we can reconnect those cables. This cable goes directly to the battery, because the alternator charges the battery and it connects it directly. So you need to pay attention to this wire and this plug. Now you can just push it like that. And now it's time for this diesel purge additive, clean that fuel system and injectors. According to instructions, best way to use this product is to remove the hoses from fuel filter and to use this product directly like that. And I'm pouring this in the see-through bottle just so I can see when it's gonna go out. This bottle is gonna be what the car is gonna run on. Now it's time to unplug the hoses and connect those 2 together. I think that this one goes from the fuel pump at the back and this one is returned, so I need to connect them to circle that fuel. And I'm gonna try to do that with this piece of hose that I'm gonna push into the both ends of those 2 hoses, and I'm gonna hope that it won't leak. Through this hose, fuel goes from the fuel filter into the engine, and this hose will go into that bottle with the additive, and this hose returns the fuel from the engine, which is actually a leftover fuel. So in this case that will be a leftover additive, and also this hose will go into that bottle where the engine will suck that additive again until the bottle is empty. Now I can clean the fuel that dripped out of the fuel filter, and after that I can start reassembling those 4 hoses. As you saw, engine did shut off because engine did run out of the fuel, out of that additive, so I did use every last drop of the additive, almost. Because of that, bottle is narrow down and I did squish it, but the hose is so wide and could not reach that deep, into that additive, and because of that I couldn't use, every last drop. Well people, it's time to drain the oil. I did cut this balloon and I'm gonna use this funnel to collect the oil. This is good that the engine is hot, so its oil is also hot, so it's gonna flow easier and faster. Oil pan is really hot. And the oil. I'm gonna open the oil filler cap. While the oil drains, I'm gonna open and drain the oil from the oil filter housing. And for that I have this tool, this socket. And I'm gonna use this vacuum tool to extract the rest of the oil from the oil housing. And while I wait for the oil to drain, I can replace those O-rings and wash some stuff. And now let's check the oil level. You can see that dipstick is clean, just up to maximum mark. But I mean, the oil filter will eat a little bit more. Now I will get this plastic underneath the engine on, and I will drop the car of those ramps, and I will check the level again. You can see oil is exactly about a little bit over in the middle, so I will pour the oil up to top mark. So I don't need to check it until the next service. Let's check the oil again. A few minutes have passed. That is maximum. I did return that plastic underneath the engine of the camera. Now I need just to return this engine cover. Oil change is finally done. You did saw how I did it. Now only one thing remains, and that is to remove this service reminder. Factory way to do this on these cars A4, B6 and B7 is to do it like this. You need to push this wrench button, then you turn the key into the ignition position, and then you press this 00 button to reset the odometer. After that, that service reminder should be clear. Let's check it again. Now it's gone. Thank you for staying this long into the video. Thank you for making me company during this oil change, and I'm hoping to see you in the next video, whatever that be. Thank you.